GM und herzlich willkommen zu Episode 17 von Kryptoticker, der Podcast. In Episode 17 konnten wir mit Mattias Debbaut vom Blockchain-Infrastruktur-Unternehmen Venly sprechen. Venly bietet seinen Kunden einen umfassenden Technologie-Stack, um Marken, Apps, Spiele und einiges mehr ins Web 3 zu bringen. Und dabei legen sie besonderen Wert auf Einfachheit, Nutzerfreundlichkeit und auch Security. Dass dieses Konzept aufgeht, zeigen dann auch Kunden wie Sandbox und einige weitere prominente Beispiele. Wir sprechen mit Matthias über die notwendige Infrastruktur zur Massenadaption, das Venly Gaming-Vertical, Zukunftsmärkte und vieles mehr. Bevor wir starten, hier noch der Hinweis, dass wir uns sehr über ein Like und Follow auf der Podcast-Plattform deines Vertrauens freuen. Und jetzt viel Spaß mit Episode 17 und Matthias von Venly.
Matthias, pleasure having you here. You're from Venly and we're live at NFT Paris. And before we actually go into what Venly is and what you do, I would just love to know, like, how is your impression? Have you spent the day yesterday already here? It's the second day right now. What's your current impression? How do you like it?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting to be here. I was really surprised with the attendance. I had to go out to get some quick breakfast. And from the moment that we came in for the concession stand holders to set up the booth, to the moment that I went out, I think the line was already, I would say, 2 blocks down.
Yeah, it was crazy,
yeah, I think it won't be the only one to say, like, when people say NFTs are dead. I think these events do prove that there is a genuine interest both on the consumer level and the enterprise level.
Yeah.
In terms of the event itself, I think you really see the growth of the space. Like, it is little steps that we're taking every time, but you really see the brands that are attending are really full-fledged projects that have a lot of backing behind them and a lot of body behind them. I think in the past, when we look at NFT NYC, as fun as it is, it's sometimes more of the G-Gem projects that do a lot of swag and merch.
Yeah.
So it's really good to be here among brands that really want to take the space further. I mean, I think when we build the space together, that's where you want to gonna make it further as a blockchain community and not really stay within our bubble. So yeah, great to be here.
Okay, that's nice. Did you attend any of the side events yesterday? Did you party?
As a business developer, I had to attend the booth. So I went for a shower, some quick meals. Unfortunately, I was willing to go to the parties, but some of them ended a little bit closer, or at least earlier.
Yeah.
So to be honest, we just had some conversations with clients over a glass of wine at a parents' bistro.
Which is reasonable, which is the more reasonable approach. I've seen a lot of people actually come today a bit later than yesterday, which is also fine. But
after a while at these events, you start to know yourself as well. I think I learned my lesson at NFT NYC, where it was a 5-day event, and if you do the parties every night, then you're not really human in the morning anymore.
True.
So we do it with moderation.
Yeah, true. Okay, right. Enough of NFT Paris and parties. So you work for Venly. Can you maybe just give a brief intro on who you are? So where do you actually come from, and how did you end up at Venly? Or are you co-founder? What is your position currently?
Yeah, sure. I actually joined the company only last year. So I joined the company Venly in April. Before, I wasn't in the crypto space on a professional level, but on a personal level, I've been in the space since 2014. So always heavily passionate about blockchain. But as a not developer, I don't have to tell you, if you didn't write codes back in the day, then there was nothing to do within blockchain.
True, yeah.
So I'm really excited to be on a professional level, part of the industry, and really, talk to clients, which is my passion for a long time. On a personal level, I'm a long-time gamer. So really with the vertical that we have with Venly, attracting gaming studios and talking to those projects is, to be honest, a dream come true.
Okay, that's really nice. Okay, explain a bit. What is Venly?
So I think you can position Venly the best as a blockchain infrastructure provider. What that means is we provide the technical tools that projects can use to make connection to the blockchain. So really simply down, what we offer are a wallet solution, an NFT smart contract, and a peer-to-peer marketplace. So rather than have to come up with these tools yourself and put down time and resources to either hire blockchain devs or make them build the tools, we're actually a company you can go to. You can white label our products, meaning you can focus on your core business, and we'll provide you the tools to enter Web3.
Yeah, okay, so basically you try or you build infrastructure layers or white label solutions that companies can use to scale faster and focus on their core business.
100%. I think you hit the nail on the head there, where our core focus is onboarding people from Web 2 to Web 3. So we don't go into competition with the MetaMasks and the ledgers of these worlds. That's for us, the blockchain savvy people. So our wallet solution, for example, exists of an SSO login. So basically a user just uses one of his Google, Twitter, Facebook accounts. We instantly create a wallet for him. And rather than having to have a complicated seed phrase, those words were a little bit difficult for Web 2 users. They simply implement a PIN code that acts as authorization key from that point onwards.
Yeah.
So for companies, it's really easy to install our tools on their front end. They display it UI-wise the way they want it, making it seem white label, but we handle everything in the back. We do the onboarding, we do the hosting of the data, we do the security. So it's a really easy go-to-market solution for brands that don't want to put down time and efforts on building their own tools.
Yeah, but that is a B2B2C solution, right? So
correct.
You sell something to a B2B customer who then eventually sells a product or has a product towards an end consumer. But your clients are the actual B2B customers, right?
Yeah, 100%. So like one of the clients that most of your listeners will know is the Sandbox. They actually use this since the beginning, since Venly's been in the space since 2018. So we have a long time partnership. And basically what we were able to do for the Sandbox is onboard those users who know what the brand is, who want to be a part of the experience, but don't have the effort of wanting to put down a MetaMask wallet or go to the process there. Yep. And that's the level where we facilitate on.
So you're basically the guys trying to work on the mass adoption, right?
Yep.
And how does it work?
Well, I think you can say it's been a success so far. As we've been in the space since 2018, we have over currently 3 million wallet users. And we see good activity. We see a lot of adoption in different regions as well. We're focusing on right now a little bit outside of EMEA, more into the Asia Pacific zone as well, Africa.
Because it's growing, or because you just because this is a strongly growing market, or because this is the next logical step for you as a company?
Both. I think the reason it's growing is because, let's put it as it is, there's on the mainstream been a bit of a bad taste in the mouth when we pronounce NFTs and metaverse. True. And people don't really get it. Yep. I think the projects that are rolling out right now, who have been in development since the last year, are really full body projects that actually bring the utility that we speak of towards the masses. And that's where we see adoption in the first place. As a company, it makes sense as well. I think those emerging markets are jumping on this new technology. They actually see the value for it.
So, they're not saturated, in some cases at least, so they want to try out those new things probably.
Exactly.
And you said something about your gaming vertical, where that is your background, so you obviously really are happy with that. Can you get a bit more into detail on that?
Yeah, sure. I think the gaming space is not necessarily against Web3 gaming, but inherently they've been the gamers where free-to-play came out, have been felt a little bit screwed with monetization level, with loot boxes. So hence, Web3 gaming isn't as clear-cut to go to market. So the tools that we provide actually allow Web3 games to push the whole blockchain aspect to the background, show the utility to the end users, but have a Web2 experience. Where the space can grow for now is, I think, that we really, or at least the gaming studios, really focus on the games and provide good games in the first place, and then we'll add utility onto it later. Because we can bring people with all the blockchain bells and whistles to a game, but if the game's not good, like, people are not going to stay. And I think that's where the space will evolve to.
Yeah. I think also, and I mean, there are certainly other examples, but I think there were a lot of cases where in the last 1 or 2 years, a blockchain game, let's say it like that, either had tokenomics that were eventually more of a Ponzi-nomics type, right? Or if they were from the tokenomics perspective or from the blockchain perspective, well, the game was shit. So that wasn't really attractive to most of the people, to any of the people actually. As said, there are other examples, but what I find interesting is that, as far as I know, many gamers actually are quite, well, let's say not positive towards blockchain and Web3, because from their perspective, at least that's what I've heard, it's just another monetization layer and it doesn't add any value for them as gamers. Do you have an opinion on that? Like, do you think that What's your perspective? How can blockchain really help also the gamers and really make stuff attractive for them?
I think understanding the tech is the first place to start, both on a consumer level as and on the developer level. I mean, we're quite early in the space. Bitcoin has been around for a while now, but Web3 is really in its infancy.
Yeah.
And then I go back to that utility. Like, what does utility mean? Does it stay within the game? Does it become real life utility? And this is where gamers will start seeing value. Unknown is a bit unloved, right? As long as we don't start showcasing what blockchain can do, it will always be in their minds a form of monetization, which doesn't have to be. Like, you can make a game completely built on community by sharing value to the community and providing extra experiences without even having monetization in it. An NFT could be basically free of charge, but provide immense value. And value doesn't always have to be monetization, in my opinion.
Moment, jetzt gibt's erstmal ein bisschen Werbung. Und zwar für Kryptoticker. Kryptoticker ist nämlich viel mehr als nur dieser Podcast. Kryptoticker ist die Community rund um Kryptowährungen, Web3, NFTs und allem, was dazugehört. Bereits seit 2015 kümmert sich das Team von Kryptoticker darum, Neulingen und Profis eine Heimat im Kryptospace zu bieten. Auf kryptoticker.io findest du jeden Tag neue Artikel und Insights, prall gefüllt mit News, Tipps, Hintergrundinfos und spannenden Einblicken. Im Kryptoticker Discord kannst du dich außerdem mit Tausenden von Gleichgesinnten austauschen, Fragen stellen, Kontakte knüpfen und vieles mehr. Schau am besten gleich jetzt in die Shownotes, denn da findest du alle Links zu Kryptoticker und kannst direkt ein Teil der Community werden. Und jetzt weiterhin viel Spaß mit Kryptoticker, der Podcast.
How many people are you right now in Venly?
So right now we're 60. We're actually
60?
60. We're actually growing quite fast.
Yep.
We finalized our Series A last year in May.
That would have been my next question, yeah.
Yes, for 22 million. So the timing was great on that.
True, yeah.
But it does allow us to really put our heads down, look forward in the market, not be shaken by the current trends. It doesn't mean that it doesn't bother us. Like we are, of course, as well shaken if we see like stuff like the FTX decision area happen. But I think like as a space, we're new tech. You always have bad actors and good actors in every aspect of life, either in business, in real life. So what Venly does is really focus on the future. We believe in the tech, we believe in blockchain, and that's where we want to put our best foot forward.
What do you think is the biggest issue when it comes to mass adoption? Because obviously, and I'm asking that question because obviously the tools that you provide are targeting to or are built in order to enable mass adoption, right? So what is your opinion, or does Venly have a clear opinion on what the biggest issues towards mass adoption are? Is it a complexity? Is it scammers? Is it, I don't know, infancy?
I don't think scammers is the issue. It's of course the biggest thing that everybody pulls for, and there are of course a lot of bad actors in the space. But you have it everywhere. When the internet came up, you have Nigerian princes offering you fortunes of fame. So it's not a new thing, and every emerging technology will have those actors. It actually brings me back to your previous question, like in terms of gaming. We were at Gamescom. I had a talk with one of the lead developers of a big gaming studio. Yeah. And their proposition was really like, I understand blockchain. I see the value in it, but I don't know why we need to use it. We already have in-game currencies. We already have an in-game marketplace. We already have assets that they can create. And then it really comes into an ownership economy. Like, how can we provide gamers with more than we're already providing them? And that's engaging them more. Could that be sharing your IP? Could that be sharing on a monetary level value of the assets they are created? More freedom, more ownership. And that comes back to that initial point where understanding the tech and going from there where the value it can bring to your community really goes into. So I think in terms of gaming, we should just build great games. Yeah. And if blockchain can be an additional layer that brings value and utility, you should do it. But I'm definitely not going to be the person that preach like Web3 gaming is going to take over. It's going to take time to grow, but it was the same with mobile gaming. Like as a gamer myself, I remember when Angry Birds came out, like, yeah, but that's not gaming. And as a console gamer, PC gamers would probably say the same about me, like console gaming is not gaming. So as gamers, we love to shoot in our own foot and think that sometimes our platform is the best, which is an inherent humanly thing. But I think space and tech needs to grow, and we'll see where we end up. But there is a lot of potential there.
Okay, yeah, that's a funny point of view, or an interesting point of view as well. I like that. How do you spend your days currently? Do you have a certain focus on what you build at the moment, on what you focus on?
Yeah, sure. So as a business developer, my main goal is to talk to clients. The tech is already complicated enough as we are a back-end technology provider. The technical conversation often go quite deep. So that's where we're seeing in client conversations as well, that explaining what you actually do and the value that your products offer are often needed. Because if you don't speak to a CTO, translation gets lost easily.
Yeah, true.
So the main focus is to make sure that the value proposition that we have is clearly communicated, and that translates into networking events, talking to the right people, and setting up conversations with potential clients.
Are you hiring new people?
Well, we had a big hiring round around the summer as we're scaling up quite fast. If people are interested in what we do, they can definitely go to our website. Developers can look at our documentation there. I know there's currently some dev career opportunities on the website, but we have a career landing page. So everybody, if they're looking for a job, can definitely go to Venly and see what's up.
Anything else that might be interesting that just pops up, or... did you get your message to the listeners?
Yeah, I think the main message is come across. I've told a little bit about myself. I think I've explained Venly pretty well. Perhaps an out-of-the-box message would be like, don't hesitate to try new things. On a developer level, is like, test the tech out. It's open. It's out there. People can mess around with it. But also on a consumer level, tools like ourselves provide you with the tools to easily make that connection to the blockchain through social logins and a wallet. But even with MetaMask, now I'm not going to say the sentence "be bold" because we all know where that leads. But yeah, just try new things, and by experiencing new things, you actually see the value in it or not, which is fair enough. I mean, everybody's cookie crumbles a certain way, so blockchain might not be for everybody. I at least see the value in it. And I think with NFT Paris, it shows that I'm not the only one that sees it that way.
That's a good one. Okay. Then let me just end our podcast session with some either or questions. I think you get the game, how it works. For you, what is it? Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Bitcoin.
Twitter or LinkedIn?
Twitter.
OpenSea or Blur?
OpenSea.
Bored Ape Yacht Club or CryptoPunk?
That's a difficult one. I would say Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Okay. And croissant or pain au chocolat?
Pain au chocolat.
Oh, really? You're the first one. Everybody else told me croissant. I like that one. Okay. Have a good one. All the best at NFT Paris, and all the best with Venly and your personal future. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much for your time. Same to you.
Vielen Dank fürs Zuhören. Wenn dir die Folge gefallen hat, dann lass uns gerne ein Like da, klick auf Abonnieren, mach eine Bewertung und schau auf jeden Fall auch mal auf unsere Social-Media-Kanäle sowie den Newsletter. Dort findest du immer alle News rund um Kryptoticker, der Podcast. Und jetzt einen schönen restlichen Tag, Abend oder Morgen und bis zum nächsten Mal.